Top 10 things to know about the Apple III Gen TV. Since the arrival of the Apple TV Gen 4 in May 2021, the other earlier versions of Apple TVs seem to have lost mention or consideration. Of course, who does not want an upgrade of a good thing? However, are old friends not the best? Don't wines taste better as they age? Does that apply in the case of the Apple 3rd generation TV? This video will look at the top 10 things about the Apple TV 3 generation and whether it is worth buying. Stay tuned. 10. Reduced price. Apple recently slashed the price of their 3rd generation TV. The new Apple Gen 4 TV is more expensive than the Gen 3 model, as with all upgrades. With as little as $69, anyone can get a 3rd Gen TV, or even less. The cost of the Gen 4 Siri remote alone, if shattered, as it is made of glass, is enough to get a full Gen 4 TV. Apple TV 3 is less than half the price of the base Apple TV 4 model. Even the new Siri remote costs more than a 3rd generation Apple TV. Apple TV HD and Apple TV 4K are not cheap. They are going for $149 and $199. View. 9. Made for movie and music lovers. Unlike the Gen 4 TV, which supports downloadable games, Gen 3 is not for game lovers. Meanwhile, those who just want to watch TV shows and movies should feel at home, as Apple TV 3 is a great option for just that. The Apple TV 3rd Gen remains worth consideration for someone who has simpler needs, mostly to sling 1080p video from a Mac or Apple device and use the content within Apple's ecosystem, or who find the optical audio port particularly useful. Actually, many people just want a streaming media player. A set-top box doesn't need a processor that is cutting edge before it can play a high-definition video. If you just listen to music and watch movies and TV shows, yours is the Apple TV 3 generation. 8. Gen 3 has no App Store. No App Store means no adding of apps. The 3rd generation Apple TV doesn't allow the user to add apps. However, it has support for some built-in channels and selective app-like functionality. The 3rd Gen TV doesn't have an app store and never did because it cannot run apps. That model only has preset channels through servers to access the App Store. A 4th Gen or 4K is needed. The Apple TV 4th Gen runs an all-new tvOS with support for an app store and fully fledged applications. 7. Easy use and location of few apps available. Though the Gen 3 TV does not allow for apps to be added, the few inbuilt ones are very easy to operate and locate. The user will easily locate them because they are all arranged in the same fashion in a location easy to locate on the screen. The Apple TV 3rd generation does have some app functionality to offer. Trailers and the Weather Channel are examples of such apps. The Weather Channel can be customized to have access to multiple locations' weather reports. Users can have information from the trailers about what movies the theaters are playing and the show times. 6. Gen 3's days are numbered. Apple no longer supports the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd generation Apple TV. So new channels are no longer added to those models. For the latest apps and most options, one must upgrade to the new Apple TV models. For instance, there is no more YouTube on Gen 3. Though Gen 3 initially had YouTube as one of its apps installed, YouTube withdrew its app from Gen 3 like the other older versions of Apple TV in March. This was as a result of a decision on Google's behalf to end support. However, this shutdown of YouTube on Gen 3 is not the first time for Apple TV. A similar end-of-life announcement came in 2015, when YouTube pulled the plug on support for 2nd generation Apple TV units. That shutdown resulted from the then-new YouTube Data API, which broke compatibility with various streaming devices. This is to say that it is only a matter of time before Gen 3 goes totally obsolete like it's happening to Gen 1 and 2. It has been like that. Once a new gen of Apple TV is announced, the older ones become plagued with one problem after the other till no one is interested in it anymore. Whether it is to whip up customers' interest in the newer generations or otherwise, it goes without saying that it is only a matter of time before even the newer ones also succumb. Watch out! 5. Flimsy upgrade. Every upgrade is what it should be. better than the predecessor. However, with the Gen 3, which is an upgrade of Gen 2, there is not so much difference. It just upgrades the processor and video resolution. If you have a very large flat-screen TV, the upgrade from 720p to 1080p is essential, as Gen 3 supports 1080p video content. However, it ends there. It even has the same external design as the previous generation and the newer Gen 4 models. 4. Blends in. Unlike the Gen 4, which is taller, distinguishable, and a pound heavier, the Gen 3 Apple TV does not need too much space. Apple Gen 3 TV can fit in any space with its portable nature. Gen 3 also easily blends in with your other gadgets and furniture because of its black color. It is also less heavy compared to the Gen 4. Who would not like that? 3. Easy setup. Unlike the Gen 4 Apple TV, which would take some fussing about before fixing it right, the Gen 3 is very easy to set up. The initial setup for a new Apple TV 3 is much easier upon purchase. Users are immediately presented with many Apple TV channels as they smoothly set up the iTunes Store and Wi-Fi. While some channels require authentication before granting access, no extra effort is needed to download these content channels with the Apple TV Gen 3. Do not be bothered if you are not a tech whiz. You don't need to have a tech mind before your Apple TV can work for you. All you need is an HDMI cable plugged into your TV and connected to your Wi-Fi. Go on to log in with your Apple ID if you have or create one if you don't, and you are good to go. 2. Indestructible remote. Let's face it, no one is too careful with any TV remote. Not like we would our smartphones anyway. The Gen 3 TV comes with an aluminum remote that makes it indestructible and good-looking, no matter how many times it is dropped. However, though the Gen 4 TV comes with a better-looking Siri remote installed, it has to be handled like a smartphone because it is made of glass. Many users have already posted pictures of shattered TV remotes and pay $79 to replace them. Also, note that Gen 4 remote does not have a replaceable battery like the simpler Apple remote. 1. Very easy to use. On the whole, Gen 3 Apple TV is easier to use. As mentioned earlier, it offers a simple UI with icons simply lined up like a grid. The channels all have the same designs, just a minor variations. Finding content on the Gen 3 is not difficult, though it does not come with Siri. Just select from the home screen a content provider and search within each channel for content. The Gen 4 models come with more app variations. While some apps are easy to use, others are the other way around. Hence, while some users find it easier to use, others don't. Therefore, there are mixed and inconsistent reactions. As a result, many users prefer accessing Netflix on Gen 3 than on the newer models. If you ask me, I would say reach out for the 3rd generation model if you want an Apple TV that just works. Apple TV 4 is still a work in progress. It may get better with updates, but expect regressive bugs to sneak into releases. Alright, viewers, there you have it. Top 10 things to know about Apple Gen 3 TV. To buy it or not to, it's your choice. Thanks for reading.